am out in the woods on this beautiful spring morning. I'm going to just kind of enjoy my time out here and show you my latest addition to my wood stove cooking. You know I love fires, and you know I love cooking on fires and love wood stoves. And I fell in love with a little stove on Amazon and I purchased it. This is the GoHawk 304 stainless steel wood stove. It's really small, and when I purchased this, my intention is I might be able to rig this up to use as a hot tent stove, but that'll be future because we're now out of the cold weather, so there won't be any hot tent camping now. You'll have to wait till this winter. But anyway, I thought I'd go ahead and would bring it out here and show you everything about it and try it out, because I have not tried it. I've looked at it, but I have not actually burned it or cooked anything with it. But it comes with this really nice padded carrying case. So I can show you everything here. It's got a really great front window so you can see the fire, which is always wonderful. That's one of my favorite things about having fires, is looking at them. So when it's enclosed in a stove, I really like having the window so you can see it. The same thing in the cabin with that wood stove. I love having the window so I can see the fire. It's just a comforting thing to me. I thought I heard something behind me. Alright, so it's got these two little legs that fold out just to raise it up off the cooking surface so you don't burn this. And like I said, you've got the window. You've got a little chimney that will go here on top that's stored inside. Now I will probably, because this is meant to be carried, to be a portable stove, I'll end up having to find a better way to store this, because this is not going to last, just to keep it from bumping this glass and breaking it. So I will come up with something to wrap around that. But anyway, that stores inside. You just bring that out and snap that here, and you can see it's a small stove. It's not going to hold a lot of wood, but it should heat up well enough to cook on, I believe. It's got some vent holes here and some on the back. And then this right here is what sold me on this particular stove, and I haven't seen another one that's made like this. It's a cooking drawer. A cooking drawer, warming drawer. You can cook a biscuit in here. You can warm up tortillas, maybe heat up some rolls. I'm not sure. I mean, who knows what I don't know how hot this is going to get in here. I'm going to try that today, though. I'm going to try to do a biscuit in it. It is kind of shallow, so you're not going to want to put a biscuit in there that's going to rise like your grandma's biscuit. So we'll have to keep that in mind when I do that. Inside that drawer were these little cross pieces that go up here on this smokestack. There's a little chimney. That's just so you can set your skillet up there, or your whatever pot if you're boiling water. Just makes it a little bit easier. If you notice, my first thing was like, oh gosh, all my ashes are going to fall into that drawer and get all over my biscuit. But that's not the case. They have this upper piece of metal here that's got the holes in it. Here, let me bring you over here so you can see a little bit better. You see how that's to let the ashes fall through, and then the plate that's below it is solid from here back. The only holes it has in it is up here on the front, and that's what's open down to that drawer. That's what allows the heat to go in through there, and probably to let out any moisture that might need to come up. But as long as I make sure that my wood isn't out here burning past this right here, I shouldn't have to worry about the ashes going down in there. And even so, I'll be sure when I put my biscuit in here, I'll put it farther at the back, just so if any ashes do fall in, they'll be up here at the front. I think it's a really smart looking stove. Really nice looking. And the fact that it's the stainless steel instead of aluminum or titanium like some of the other stoves are, I really am impressed. It's just a high quality stove. Okay, I'm going to find some firewood to fit in here, and then we will get breakfast going. to set you up so that you were on my right hand side, and so I could turn this where I can reach it better, since I am right-handed. But we're going to make this work. I could take that off for now and drop stuff down in that way. I'm sitting on a really squeaky board, so every time I move that thing squeaks. I promise y'all I'm not passing gas, though that wouldn't be unusual if I did. Hope you can see everything well. Well enough anyway. Well, all right, let's get the food out, and I guess I need to get my biscuit going. That'll take longer. I brought eggs and sausage, stuff for a biscuit, and obviously coffee. Let's see what we can get done. Hope I can do this biscuit justice. Well, this is technically pancake and waffle mix made by GoHawk. Probably should have grabbed the Hungry Jack. I'm trying to stay away from it though, because it's got so many preservatives that I don't want. So I was kind of hoping this would work as a biscuit. We'll find out. Maybe more like a piece of flatbread, which is fine with me too. I'm gonna put the biscuit on a piece of aluminum foil and put it down in there. Now I'm trying to get away from aluminum and cooking on aluminum due to it not being good for us, but for this situation, this is what I'm gonna have to do. Doesn't look much like a biscuit. I don't think it's going to work like a biscuit, but I'm going to go ahead and spread this out. Maybe it'll cook like a little piece of flatbread. I probably have too much moisture in this. This is all a test anyway. So, oh good, that will come all the way out. I wondered. I'll put this toward the back. Back in there. Alright, I've got both of my cowboy skillets down here. That's not going to work well there, but will right there. But this will fit right here. That's good. So I can, probably what I'll do is I'll cook on this little one and boil water. Oof, I don't want that soot on that. Maybe I'll boil water here and then cook up here. That's probably what I'll do. Let me go get a thermometer. I'm curious to see how hot this is. I wasn't anticipating flames coming out the little chimney thing and sooting up stuff. Just hadn't really thought about it. It's right at almost 350 now. That's on this top. I do wonder how warm it gets in there. We'll do that. Let me get you a little bit closer to see what's going on here. It's about 250 right now. I can go ahead and set my water up here and let it start boiling. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. It's going to sit on that edge. I just have to be careful about when I get ready to open that to make sure that's not sitting on it. It might pull it off. I just wanted to be sure that this is away from the area that I'll be cooking. I don't want it to be touching that, but that should be okay. This is pretty cool. Let me get my bigger skillet and see how it works. Now with the water on here, that's not going to be stable at all. But that's not a have to. That technically can wait toward the end of my meal because I don't drink my coffee until after I eat anyway. So that's not a big concern. If I take that off. Now this pan right here is just slightly rounded on the bottom. So it's not ever going to just sit perfectly flat. I'm just trying to see how I could do two things at once, like a sausage in one, eggs in the other. Biscuit down below. It's pretty cool. That works. But today, I think I'm just going to do, I don't know what I'll do. You'll see in a minute, I guess. Let's check on the bread. Alright, it's 200. It's showing 200 in there. I'm curious about the wood in here. If I need to add more. I can't quite get the hang of this thing. There. So it needs to be that way. Let's look up in here. I think I can actually put more wood in this. Yep, let's do that. It's still 200 down in there. Needs to be 350 though, 400. But I accidentally let this thing die out almost. So this is one of those things where you just have to constantly feed it because it is so small. Not sure how well that would work in a hot tent. Now, if I ever was going to try to really rig this up for a hot tent, I would have to get the proper width stovepipe to run out. I would not do it just like this. It would have to have the stovepipe run through a stove jack, and with the spark arrestor at the top. Do it properly. But I think this is also neat, even if I didn't use it for that reason. If I take it, maybe go camping in a campground and don't want to get a full-blown fire going in the fire pit, just pull this out and do some cooking. Now I do have little gas stoves, backpacking stoves I could use, but there's just something about a fire that is just so delightful. Oh, the fire is so delightful. Put that back on there for right now. I do kind of wish this was a little taller, the chimney to cook on, because there's some things I don't really want suited up. Like, I don't want this is a French press. I don't want that suited up. I don't mind if these pans get soot on them, but I really don't want that sooted. So it would be nice if this was a little bit taller so that could sit down below where the smoke comes out. Let's get the sausage going. Kind of smoky, isn't it? Guess you need to keep in mind which way the wind is blowing. I'm not going to bore you with this whole process. I'll bring you back when I get a little farther along. Alright, I got the sausage done. I ended up having to open the door and give some air to it. It was kind of choking out, moved the wood around a little bit, and it picked back up pretty fast. So I got my sausage cooked. I ended up taking my water container off because the grease from the sausage was popping on it and discoloring it, and I don't want that on that particular piece. That's actually the French press I use in the cabin. Anyway, so I took the water off. I'll put it back on when I get done with my eggs. So in the future, I'll have to remember, you could do 2 skillets here, like I said, with that one like that, and put the bigger one up here. That would work. You could cook 2 things at the same time with a biscuit going down below. And then after that's done, you'll have to put your water on, because it's just, like I said, anything that you're cooking is going to pop on it. And see, it's already discolored this from just sitting next to that and the smoke getting on it. I'll have to take that to the house and scrub it. I just don't want this particular item sooted up. I don't mind on other things, but not that one. So that was my bad for not paying attention. Ooh-wee. Fire's really going well now. Once I rearranged the wood and got a little airspace in between the pieces. That's just one of the things you have to be careful about, especially in a tiny stove like this, is you just got to be sure that it's got airflow. But this is cooking really well here. Now, I cooked the sausage up on top of the little chimney. It cooked really fast and it almost started to burn, so that's a lot of heat coming out of that. I really hope that biscuit's going to do because every time I peek in there, of course I know every time I look in it, it's probably letting heat out, but it's 200 degrees, which is not enough to bake a biscuit, at least not quickly. Maybe that's better for warming stuff. Maybe like pre-baked rolls, biscuits, just put them in there to warm them up. Which is still useful. I had just hoped to be able to bake it from scratch. Dottie's, oh crap. I was going to say Dottie's so hoping I'm going to sling her some, but I did not mean to throw that piece of egg out. I love my eggs. It's hot though. I hope she didn't find it right away. Dottie, I guess God wanted you to have a piece of egg. Alright, so I'm going to see about that biscuit. Still showing 200. Oh, it actually did bake. She found the piece of egg. Ooh, that's hot. It actually got done. Awesome. It's showing 200. I wonder if it's more back here. We'll move that just for the time being. Alright, let's put the water back on so I can have coffee. Alright, so sausage and eggs. The eggs are very dirty because they were cooked in the sausage pan. And there's my bread. It actually worked. Holy cow. That's great. But it'll be even better when I put this. My daughter made some pear butter. She gave me a jar and I've just about eaten it up. I'm going to put that on here too. Look at that. Look how wonderful. Sorry, Dottie. No pear butter for you. Oops, I guess I better stoke the fire. Let's eat. Then we'll worry about the coffee. That's good. It's warmed up. Alright, well, I'm not going to make you watch me eat. Hope you enjoyed the little stove. I kind of like it. I think it's going to work. It's going to kind of be a novelty item maybe. I'm going to see when it comes winter time if I can do something with a hot tent when I get a hot tent. It'll be way on down the line. I have a couple final thoughts about the stove. It did work. It was, being the first time I used it, it just took me a little bit of doing to know how to use it and me not be clumsy with it, I guess is my point. Technically, I would rather feed this from the right-hand side and have that window toward me. You have to keep in mind that anything you cook on that, especially on this part right here where it had the chimney, I've taken it off. You're going to get grease, so it's going to get stained up. This color is just due to the heat anyway. But anyway, so if you take this and think like say even if you were just on traveling and you wanted to pull over somewhere and have a little fire and cook your food or whatever, just realize you're going to have some pretty lengthy cool down time before you can actually pack this thing back up. So I have taken out the tray, and it's cooling off now. And I ended up I took the chimney off, which was a little bit stuck, but I whacked it with my hand and with a glove on, and it did pop loose. And then dumped out the rest of the wood that was in there, the embers and stuff. And I'm still sitting here, it's been about 5 minutes, just waiting for this thing to cool down. And it's still too hot to handle. I don't know how long it's going to take. So just keep in mind, if you were to pick up one of these things, this is not going to be a fast, have a little fire, cook some whatever, and pick up and go, because you're going to have to wait for it to cool off. These are just some thoughts. So here's what it looks like after it's been, the wood is burned in there. I didn't realize there's a little deflector back here at the back that keeps the, you notice there's some ventilation holes back here. I was wondering why smoke wasn't coming out the back holes, but it's because of that little deflector that's in there that puts the pushes the smoke up to the smokestack or chimney. The window does black up some, but I did have some wood right up against it, and I shouldn't have. But the glass seems to be fine. It did not crack. It's 300 there in the back, and the fire is not roaring like it was, so it may get around 350 when it's going properly. Okay, y'all, take care. Put a like on the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share my channel with your friends or family or anybody that may enjoy the kind of things that I do. And we'll see you next time, y'all. Stay wild.